What's going on, everybody? It's fragged out, swagged out, and you already know why I'm here. And today I'm going to talk about one of the best patchouli fragrances I've ever smelled. And it's probably the fragrance that actually made me realize that I do like patchouli. Just hadn't come across patchouli that really stood out. The fragrance I'm talking about is, of course, Crush on Me by Unique Luxury or Unique Luxury. To this day, I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But you know the brand. And this fragrance right here, I don't know, like I feel like I was bugging. With all the reviews I've done so far, the fact that I didn't give this its own video. Now, if you ever took the time to go to the very first video I ever did, I did a 2-minute video where I just quickly talked about two fragrances that I was really feeling at that time. And that was Crush on Me and Amber Oud. And at that time, that video was made for Instagram. I had no real idea that I would even be considering starting a YouTube page, and then I did, and here we are. So now that I've come back around, I was like, you know what? Let me highlight this banger, because I put it on this morning and it's still killing hard. Beautiful, beautiful from the opening to the mid to the dry down. Everything's amazing about this. If you love patchouli, you're in the right place. If you like patchouli, you're still in the right place. And if you're not so in love with patchouli, but you like other aspects that this does have, you'll still find a way to enjoy this. Okay, it's not for everybody though. I will say that. This is more of a patchouli lover fragrance. So let's start off with this. What are the notes? So here you're gonna open up with lime and ginger. In the mid, you're gonna get iris, magnolia, saffron, rose, and caramel. And in the base, you're gonna get patchouli, wood notes, caramel, musk, and amber. So you heard the notes. Is that how it plays out? Because, you know, sometimes notes are just there because they help the fragrance do what it's supposed to do. They take another note and amplify it. Something about that combination of two different things will create a different accord. So a lot of the stuff you get in here may not really matter as far as the list breakdown goes. But what happens when I first apply this on my skin? The first thing I'm going to get is, regardless of the fact that it's in the base, patchouli. Absolutely patchouli. Earthy patchouli, strong, almost pungent patchouli, but very nicely blended with everything else that I'm about to explain. So the first takeaway, patchouli at the top, at the mid, and in the base. They just highlight it in the base because it's still there throughout the entire wear. But you get a patchouli with although you get that earthiness and that strong, potent patchouli, it's cut through with a little bit of brightness from that ginger and that citrus they have in there. So it's gonna smell semi-spicy, like not very spicy, but a freshness. If you smell ginger, you know what I mean. And then again, that citrus, that lime that's in there, kind of gives it that brightness. So it just livens it up a little bit. It doesn't make it too earthy, but it's still very powerful, very strong performer. This, if you hate strong performing fragrances, I don't know why anyone would, but if that's too much for you, if you're sensitive, if you're one of the people who get migraine fragrances, not for you, and you probably don't want your significant other wearing it around you either. But if you look forward to those fragrances that have a super big scent bubble, an amazing scent trail, the sillage is just, people know you were there, then this is definitely a banger. So again, you have that lime, that ginger, brightening up that very heavy patchouli. And as it starts to dry down, and the great thing about this is, the second big player in this outside of the patchouli is going to be that caramel. Although it opens up primarily patchouli with that ginger and that lime to brighten it up a little bit, it's going to start transitioning really quickly into that caramel. So you're going to get caramel, a very sweet, saucy kind of caramel with a little bit more of a sweet spice that you get from that saffron. Now, I never really get how rose amplifies its fragrance, but I'll believe it's in there. But you get that saffron and that caramel mix. And I love saffron, and I love caramel, and I love patchouli. So by the mid of this fragrance, I'm already on cloud 9. Like, it's smelling amazing. It's smelling gourmand leaning, sweet, really nice, really strong, amplified. I mean, all these notes are on steroids, but they're blended so well that they don't clash with one another. It's such a nice blend. and it smells delicious. Like the caramel with that patchouli together, although in the opening it's so strong that they kind of need that ginger and that citrus to lighten it up. As it starts getting to the mid, that caramel and that patchouli is starting to blend well together with that saffron, and it's coming off sweeter than earthy, but it still has a little bit of earthiness to it. And then by the time you get to the dry down, you have a little bit of that woodiness. Nothing too strong, but what you also get is that amber and more caramel. Now in this hand is where I have the dry down from earlier. When I say dry down, I'm talking about dry down. I'm talking about something like 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago. So there is a nice fresh woodiness, like nothing offensive, nothing like, ooh, nothing dark woody. Still you have that patchouli there. It's not as earthy as the opening at all, but it's cool because you still have that amber, you have that caramel, and you have more of what I would consider a gourmand leaning patchouli. Sometimes you'll hear the term chocolatey patchouli. It's not necessarily chocolatey, but it is sweeter, and that caramel is really amplified in the base. It bounces off of your skin. It is loud, but in a really good way. Loud in the way that you still know it's there. This is not one of those fragrances you're gonna go nosmic to and wonder if you still smell like your fragrance and have to ask somebody or reapply throughout the day. This fragrance has lasting power and projecting power. It smells great. So if you love patchouli and if you love caramel, again, I would say this fragrance is straight across the board patchouli with some light aspects, some sweet saffron, spicy saffron, nothing too OD, and then caramel on top of caramel, saucy, creamy, slightly woody, gives it a little base, but amazing, amazing. And I you know, for me, it's crazy because I don't know at which point I love it more. I love that opening so much now. The mid, as it starts becoming kind of gourmand leaning, it becomes even better. But by the dry down, you have this whole, not that it's changed completely, but it's changed in several ways, in a way that's still so great that maybe the mid is my favorite, but I like that woody base. I like how it develops into this slightly heavier with this nice, smoother patchouli. So as the notes get heavier at the base, the patchouli starts kind of giving way for those other notes to really shine, and you get that amber and more caramel at the base, and it just gets sweeter and woody, almost kind of taking the patchouli and what was kind of earthy patchouli in the beginning, turning sweeter and going almost in a kind of Middle Eastern traditional perfumery realm, minus any of the oud. It's sweet, it's patchouli, it's caramel, it's amazing. This is Crush on Me. It's such an amazing name because it's accurate. No matter how you look at it, whether you look at it as, if I have this on, you'll have a crush on me, or just when I smell it and the bottle's like, bro, you got a crush on me because this is an amazing fragrance. And by the way, I have the older bottles. These are the newer bottles. And this cap is just fly. Also, you see that with the little Swarovski in the middle. Very heavy cap. Really nice presentation. Metal placard right there. Same design of the old bottles. But this is an amazing fragrance. Again, if you love patchouli, if you love caramel, this is going to be love. If you haven't tried it, I don't know how you haven't even tried it. Like, if you love those notes and this hasn't come across your radar, then I'm glad to be the person to tell you. But let me tell you something. This is a banger on everything, from all the notes they use that blend so well, the overall performance, the beast mode performance realistically, and just that mouth-watering caramel that is going to, man, you're going to love this. If you haven't tried it, go try it. Once again, this is Crush on Me by Unique Luxury. That's all I have. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not following, stop it. And if you have a question or something you want to add, go ahead and leave it in the comments. But one thing I'm not going to try to be, listen, this is a performer. If you write in the comment that it does not perform well on your skin, I don't think you've smelled this before, because this is a performer. That's all I have for you. This is fragged out, swagged out, and I'm out.